Hello my fellow full of the samurai players, Zaript here with the second game of my match against Greenstar in the second group stage of Aggony 1v1 Championship of 2012. And this is a match we played on Flute Plane. This is a map I choose, and I choose the same map against Prussian Prince just because I have some sort of a balanced build. I use a lot on this map and I'm kind of okay with its performance, and from the very beginning I want to make a notion of one very important thing. It's not the build that win you the game, it's how you use it. And I like this build just because of how versatile it is. And if you look at how I deployed my forces, it's quite different from what I used in a game against Prussian Prince. Against Prussian Prince, I used two Shugitais in this forest, and I used my line in more compact formation. But here, using Shinobi Informer, I have I did see what Greenstar going to use against me, and it's 5 White Tiger Force as a mid shield on the front, 4 Black Tortoise Forces, I believe. 1 Azure Dragon Force and 4 White Bears and 5 Black Tortoise Forces with a gun gen and 4 Vanilla Yariki. I use 3 Yariki with 6 chevrons, 1 Shogunate Guard Cavalry with 5 chevrons, United States Marines, 4 Black Tortoise Forces, 3 Spear Levy, 2 Shogitai and 1 Yarukachi. My general is some mix between gun and Bushido. And the reason I deployed differently is obviously this archery dojo, and the reason that I don't really want to attack Greenstar in the middle, because if I try to I'm attacking this game. If I attack through the middle, wings of his army will just wrap around me. So what I want is to be on this side faster than Greenstar, and because of stronger cavalry I will have that advantage. He will not be able to get his line here, he will not be able to control this area. So I want to get with my cavalry here, to rush with my melee here from this direction, and to control this forest. So I will take archery dojo and I will have a local superiority here. Well, that's what I believe. And let's take a look at how it really goes. I did put it on normal speed, and this force is just meant to slow down this advancement. And this is a quite strong force this time, because weaker force will not. In this map, flanking here, he can wrap around me faster, so that's I have to use stronger force to slow him down. Okay, the fight here started, and because this is White Tiger Forces, they are not really able to stop my melee charge. And terrain here is a very tricky one. So, I tried to get his general, but he countercharged me. I managed to change my attack order in time, so it's okay. But still, I had to give up on getting his general. And I'm attacking his line now. 2 White Tigers collapsed easily, but I had to pay my Yarukachi for that. This wasn't a particularly smart move on my side. But still, it looks like this flank starting to collapse. Nothing happens in the middle. I got a forest position, so I have quite an advantage here. My Black Tortoise forces have a better survivability, but now I just didn't expect that. Lack of the force, highly vetted Yariki played its role, and in prolonged melee fight with these Black Tortoise forces, I lost all of my cavalry. Now I only have the Shogun Guard cavalry, and I still didn't get his general, and these 2 line units are alive. And at the same time, he started middle engagement, and I was able to react. I sent my Shogitai in spread formation to meet them, my line shooting, and my spear levy attack as well. And as you can see, not yet, I will show you soon. And here on this flank, I'm in big trouble. I kind of got his cavalry here, and I got a couple of his line units, but now, let me stop this. Let's see. Here, it's not that any of us have an advantage here. You see, my Shogitais are quite alive, my spear levy quite alive, my United States Marines are okay. So it's kind of even fight. So now he will go and retreat. So I will have to follow him. If I stop, I risk losing my melee units, and I really want these Shogitais to keep pressuring Greenstar's line. The problem here is, if I follow him too far, and I was thinking about this in the game, because I have played against such compositions before, well, something like that, and I know what will happen in a worst case scenario for me. He will turn this white bear infantry the other way, and while my forces would be moving, he will be shooting from all the sides. This is a trick I use a lot, and this is what you have to expect from any competent player. And the problem here, I need to shut down these white bears. But this it's a difficult decision to make, because this black tortoise force and these white bears would shoot me from the side if I try to hit from that direction. So the decision I make here is to sacrifice some units just to isolate this black tortoise force and this white bear. To isolate them, I decide to sacrifice my spear levy and to keep this black tortoise force in this forest, just to zone these units out. And my Shogitais with another black tortoise force is going here, so that Greenstar's line doesn't have to... now he have to retreat. He can retreat only in one direction. He cannot retreat here. So now I cut his forces in two. I isolated this force. I cannot destroy it, and I don't plan to yet. I want to destroy his main force. And I will be honest with you, I'm very proud with this decision. It's very difficult to think something about something like that in a battle, because honestly, after losing my cavalry, I think this was his battle. Actually, I honestly believe that. And this one decision, where I sacrificed one unit and actually sacrificed this black tortoise force, I was thinking that I'm sacrificing it, that I will lose it, just to keep constant pressure on this main force. I wanted to be slowed down. I wanted to not be able to shoot. And if they stop, I want my United States Marines and black tortoise force to shoot at the same time. Other decision I make follows the same pattern. I know that if I only send my spear levy against these three routed units, they will come back from routing. They probably will. They will destroy my spear levy and threaten me from this flank. So instead of wasting time of my black tortoise force, I sent my general to finish these forces, and now I turn my black tortoise force to participate in this main fight. So what I do, I split the forces of my opponent on 3 different contingents, and I try to use minimal forces to keep this contingent busy, minimal force to destroy this routing contingent, and my main force, if you can call it, now destroying the middle part of Greenstar army. And this was very difficult for me. I mean, I felt such a pressure after my cavalry was done. And the only reason I was able to pull a move like that is I had quite a lot of experience it's not like you rarely meet someone who plays line heavy builds that good, and people with such sought out line builds. But I have seen something like that used by Luvma in semifinals of TWCC against Duck, and I thought a lot about that. How do you fight it? Because I'm not a Duck, right? And I don't think I really have a lot of chances against Luvma in his best shape. But still, I wanted to think about how do I deal with that. So I kind of had some plan here. And I was able to adapt my plan as game was going. And now I keep up with my with the same idea, my general finishing job here. And now, instead of finishing this, I see that I can't finish these forces fast enough. So I just turn these Black Tortoise forces, these United States Marines, to finish this first. These forces are still isolated. So it's kinda divide and conquer idea I try to implement here. I thought that I cannot manage to get these forces fast before he will destroy this Black Tortoise force, so I just retreated here, and now I actually got a local superiority because he retreated too far here, and now this small contingent cannot help this small contingent. And let's take a look. Maybe I will get some nice shots. And actually, no, there is no line of sight. And actually use... maybe you notice that graphic become a little bit worse. I'm using DirectX 9 settings because they are kind of speed up loading times, which is very annoying. With DirectX 11 game starts in like 4 or 5 minutes. It's just ridiculously long. And as this general, it's killed 220 men already, and this is the first time I think in this game when this general actually engaging non-routed unit. I pop up how do you call it, Banzai, and charges Yariki that came back from routing in the corner of the fight and routed instantly. And now suddenly I have quite a sound advantage, and I think these forces are out of ammunition, so I will send them in melee just to slow down these Whitebeards and destroy them, and now I will only have these 2 units to take care of. Yeah, see these blood splashers, they are not that beautiful as with DirectX 11. Shaders version 3. Well, maybe I will be able to get a better PC this year, by the end of this year, so maybe it will be a bit more nicer visuals for you. Maybe I will be able to get them if someone care. So, very difficult battle for me. And honestly, I don't know how I won it. I think after getting rid of my cavalry, Greenstar actually had better chances. But there is still one big weakness with his composition. Well, I think it is. And that is a low morale. With morale decreasing retainer, line morale decreasing, his White Tigers are just bound to round almost instantly. And with that, as you have seen in the middle, I just chain routed his forces. First I routed 3 White Tigers, then 2 black tortoise forces run after them. So this composition is very easy to chain route. And I believe that if he used command gen instead of gun gen with putting 1 skill point in morale and what more, morale command gen with and maybe add 1 or 2 vermilion bird forces to his composition. Let's say get rid of 1 white tiger and 2 white bears just to add 2 vermilion bird forces. And with that morale aura, with second in command skill in command skill tree, with lower cooldown on rally, with a good morale, with morale bonus from command tree, I think this composition would be much more scary. And I actually tried it in non-tournament environment on a ladder, and it works wonders. But on ladder, you understand, right? It's like a melee rush. No one expects to see something like that, so people not prepared. So it's not a representative check, I would say. But I have quite a success on ladder with in the last 2 days trying this line heavy composition with 2 vermilion bird forces and command gen. Okay then, let's take a look at final statistic. Greenstar deployed like 800 more men, 900 more men, and he lost 800 more men than me. So you see, it was kind of close battle, but the thing is, remaining forces of mine were much more allied than his. I had the United States Marines in the end. So let's take a look. This is just stupid. You see, he lost 7 men and 289 got 289 kills. I mean, and he didn't fight fair, you know? This general, he was just charging backs of routing units. And despite all these kills being not real fighting kills, they still quite important, just because these units, they never came back from routing. And that allowed my other forces to concentrate on a main fight. Shogitais, that's my right, I don't know which one it is. Both units of my Shogitais did okay, but yet again, we have to account for what the skills are. This is some black tortoise forces, some white tigers. That's a cheap kills. So these 160 kills, they probably barely paid for themselves. Maybe they even didn't. Who knows? United States Marines, they kind of didn't kill much, but they didn't lose much. So if game were longer, they would have win it for me anyways. These 2 black tortoise forces did surprisingly well, so it's okay, and even my cavalry did okay. I should say this time I'm quite okay with performance of my army. And I can't say much about Greenstar's army just because all his units are interchangeable. I don't know the right word for that. It doesn't matter which unit kill much, they all cost around the same. But let's take a look at exact composition he used. 4 cavalry units, quite a cheap ones. 1, 2, 5 white tigers, right, as I said. 4 white bears and 5 black tortoise forces with 1 azure dragon force. And that's a lot of units, and if you can stop them, if you can hold them from routing, that's a quite solid composition. And you know how people actually, you meet people who say, oh, line spam, line spam. any strategy is valid as long as it works. And as you have seen in this game, even this strategy isn't as easy to implement as you would think about it. If you don't control your... The main problem with such a composition isn't just morale or anything. It's organization, you know? I have less, more effective forces, and it requires less attention from me to use them right. But when you have such a big composition, it's actually, when I tried to play it first 2 matches, I just didn't know what to do with it. I messed it up. Sometimes I sent my white tiger force to attack. Sometimes I sent my more expensive units. I just mixed them together and I didn't know how to use it with the maximum effectiveness. So don't think that it is easy. You still need to have some solid game plan to win. And that is why I think this strategy is absolutely valid. It has its weak points, it has its strong points, and it's certainly not easy to play with against adequate opponent. So, I won this match 2-0, and unfortunately Greenstar have no chances to advance from a group now, because he lost 2 matches 2-0 to me and Prussian Prince. And I say unfortunate because I actually like how Greenstar plays. I like his compositions, and he's a very nice fellow. I chatted with him quite a bit, and I really would have wanted to see him in next stages, but well, in our group it will most probably be Prussian Prince, and the final spot, the second spot, will be decided between me and Iriskin, most probably. And well, there is a small chance that even Prussian Prince can still not leave the group. If somehow I win against Iriskin 2-0 and Iriskin wins both of his matches 2-0, Prussian Prince will actually be on a 3rd place. Which is very strange. I mean, he got 2 wins. Yeah, that would be very strange. Still, I don't know, these were very exciting games, and now I'm going to cast even more, but not mine games, and I will cast it for TWCC YouTube channel, so I think I will leave a link in the description, and if you watched to this until this moment, just go show some love to TWCC YouTube channel as well. Well now, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again on my channel.